This is what I don't get. Help me understand this. Ben McAdoo broaches it to Eli that, Eli, we want you to start, but in the second half, we're going to bring in Geno. Eli's like, what do you mean? It's like, yeah, we know you have the streak. We want you to continue the streak, but in the second half, we're going to start Geno. And Eli's like, yeah, I love my streak, but if you're going to come and bring him in the second half, why not start him? Okay, you said you want to look at Geno. You want to look at the younger guy, Davis Webb. Skip. Davis Webb wasn't even active. How you looking at a guy in street clothes if you say you want to take a look at him? They bungled this from the beginning, Skip. If you wanted to take a look at Davis Webb needs to be ready. He needs to be the second guy. But Eli was running scout team. Yep. So that told me that Geno was going to start, and if something happened to Geno, they were going to bring Eli into the ball game. Skip, they can place this at the feet of Ben McAdoo all they want to. Yep. This is John Mara's decision. John Mara trotted Ben McAdoo out there to make this decision because you know what, Skip? Ben McAdoo was never going to be back. So let me get this right. John Mara is a lifer. His dad started the Giants, groomed him for this position. And you mean to tell me a football lifer is going to let a second-year coach who's going to be fired make that decision to bench a Super Bowl, a two-time winning Super Bowl quarterback? But see, guess what, Skip? If you do it, because I'm going to be here forever, I'm not going anywhere. I don't want that on my resume because guess what? For the first time since 1976, the Giants have fired a coach during the season. That's Ben McAdoo. Guess what else is on his resume for perpetuity? He's the head coach that snapped Eli Manning's streak. That's on his resume.
It is.
John Mara didn't want that on his resume. Because you know what, Skip? Guess what? 3 of the last 4 games where they played in Giant Stadium. When he got wind that some of the former Giant players were going to show up to that stadium in 10 jerseys, I can't have some of the New York Giants' finest. No, can't do that. I can't have them hanging up banners. Free Eli. Oh, no, no. If I'm Eli, Skip, y'all ain't have a longer look at Geno and Davis. I'm good. Y'all going to get them reps for him. Because John Mara, I appreciate what you did for me. You traded for me. I'm happy to be here. But I'm peacing out to you guys. You're not finna do this to me, Skip. You snapped the streak and you're going to start him the following week unless both of these got hurt. Ain't no way if I'm Eli Manning, I'm going up in there, Skip. Not if you do that to me. And John Mara made this call because, well, I thought Eli was going to play, and then if the game got out of hand, then they bring the younger guys in. Skip, we found out late Tuesday night, early Wednesday, that Geno Smith was going to start. So if there was any ambiguity between Ben McAdoo and Eli, or between John Mara, Ben McAdoo, and Eli, John Mara could have cleared that up Wednesday. He could have cleared it up Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. There was no ambiguity. You wanted that at the feet of Ben McAdoo, and that's what happened. Now you're going back to Eli, but if I'm Eli, I'm good, John. I appreciate everything you gave me and did for me over these 14 years, but I'm not starting another game for you, and I'll see y'all somewhere else in 2018.
I agree with everything you just said except for your conclusion. So back to the start of this. I'm with you. This all has the distinct odor of his hypocrisy and damage control.
Yes.
And I'm going to call it Mara because I've always been taught it's Mara, but it could be Mara. I don't know which it is.
Yeah.
But which
I mean, because Rooney Mara, the actress, is Rooney Mara, and then John Mara.
It's Rooney Mara. I don't know. But I'm going to say Mara just because that's what I was taught. But whatever. Could go both ways. But John Mara clearly had some hand in the benching of Eli Manning. He just did. He had to be made aware of it. He had to sign off on it. And then he had to stand back in horror and watch the PR nightmare that it became, because I don't think he saw that coming. So obviously it was easy for him to step in and make Ben McAdoo the fall guy, because clearly Ben McAdoo and Jerry Reese were going to be gone at the end of the year anyway. So why not now? Because if you fire him now, he becomes the scapegoat, and it takes some of the glaring spotlight off 2 and 10.
Correct.
That John Mara presides over, 2 and 10, the New York Football Giants. So, am I surprised how Eli reacted? I'm not, because remember, Eli is beloved in New York.
Yeah.
He is Jeter-esque in New York.
Yes.
He has always said and done exactly the right thing at the right time, including, I'm not saying he was faking his tears, but he cried when he talked about being benched, right?
He's a prideful man.
He's a prideful, and it really worked. It touched me, man. I don't even love them. You know, I don't love Eli, but it it was real and it was touching, and he's been a genuinely good guy.
Let's put it like this. Eli was more sincere than Baker Mayfield.
I'll buy that.
Yeah.
You didn't buy Baker's tears?
I don't think Eli's better than Baker Mayfield. But
Oh, stop it, Skip Bayless. You need to
We'll
stop.
talk about that later. That's down the road.
I can't even believe it.
Well, we'll see. But the point is that Eli is so beloved in New York that he would want to do nothing to damage his PR reputation, his brand in New York City, because I'm thinking that he's thinking, heaven's just opened again, and I have a chance not only to start the last 4 games, but I think I might have a chance to win back the job for next year if I convince them, trust me on this, he's beloved. If I say, let me take you through 1 more year, and then I will announce my retirement. Like, this will be my swan song year, and then you can pick my successor, and we'll get him ready slowly but surely through next year. But I will start next year, even though the streak got snapped. That would be the way Eli would choose to go out. Do you think Eli wants to go someplace else and start over in Jacksonville?
Skip.
Seriously.
No.
No.
But here's the thing, Skip. I don't think anybody would have had a problem if you say we're benching Eli, going to Davis Webb. It was the guy that was in the immediate aftermath. It was Geno. We need to take a look at Geno. Haven't you seen 3, 4, 5 years of Geno? So you know what he is? You took Davis Webb in the 3rd round. You want to get a look at him.
You do.
But you don't have him active. So what you looking at him on the sideline? You see how he looking in Giants apparel?
Just me personally, if I ran the Giants right now, even if I took back over and fired the coach, I'm starting Davis Webb Sunday. Of course, I would like it for my Cowboys if Davis Webb started, but that's a whole nother issue. But I would still just try to find out, what is he?
Skip.
What do you have?
Ben McAdoo is there every day in practice. He's watching him throw scout team. He's watching him do all this other stuff. And the guy's not active. What transpired? If you want to take a look at the guy,
Davis Webb.
He's
not active. Okay.
He's not even active, but you say you want to take a look at the younger guy. Well, how are you going to look at him if he's not in football equipment?
Don't know.
We know what this is, Skip. Like you said, John Mara didn't want this. Amaro, however you want to say his name. The ownership of the Giants didn't want this on their. They didn't want this on their resume.
Nope, they did not. And by the way, I'm going to say this one more time about Davis Webb. He went back and forth beating out Baker Mayfield in his first year at Texas Tech. They kind of split starting games. And then it goes to the next year, and he lost his job to the now Kansas City Chief quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. And then he transferred to Cal, and he threw 37 touchdown passes to 12 interceptions last year. He's 6'5", 225. You know, he's prototype pocket passer.
And we know what Giants ownership thinks of the fans.
Yeah.
Because remember, he had no problem telling you about the letters that he got and how out they were out on Colin Kaepernick.
Bingo.
So we know how the fans move the needle, and he hears what they say. He listens to the radio.
Yeah.
So he knows all this.
Right. And bottom line, I can't dredge up that much sympathy for Eli.
No.
Obviously, it's not all his fault. But over the last 4 years, his QBR has declined every year for 4 years.
I got no problem, Skip, because had Eli played better, this would have been a moot point.
Correct.
And I don't think anybody in the Giants fans have a problem if you go Eli, Davis Webb. It was the fact you went Eli, Geno, Davis Webb inactive, back to Eli. And people are like, hold on, wait a minute. So Geno gave you the better chance to win against the Raiders, but now you go back to Eli because he gives you a better chance to win against the Cowboys?
Yeah, that's what happened. Now my Cowboys have to deal with Eli. Happy days are here again.
The Cowboys, I got the Cowboys by 14.
I hope 14. You better be right. You better be right.
Well, they'll play Sunday at 1 p.m. on Fox. In the meantime, though, people that crying interview must have done something, because his jersey sales are up to 21 spots from last week. So there's a little nostalgia for the old Eli there.
He was sincere.
He was sincere. Did the Eagles get exposed on Sunday? We'll discuss that next.